Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Paulzine, and I've been giving fantasy sports content for the past 4 years, going on 5 years now. And with that, I've learned a lot when it comes to content creation and everything really in between there. It's been a lot of mistakes that I made. I've found some success. I just want to go over kind of a little guide, do some tips and tricks for you guys to grow. This is going to be a series dedicated to people that are trying to get into the fantasy sports community and don't really know how to. They want to give content in there, or they're people that are already established in the fantasy sports community, just really trying to grow. Maybe there's some tips and tricks in here that can help you guys. So with that, I'm gonna be showing you everything that you need to know from cameras. I can show you guys how to take your camera video quality from looking like this to looking like this. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to take your audio from sounding like this to sounding like this. I'll be showing you guys how to make logos. I'll be showing you guys content software, how to operate within that content software, maybe certain video platform that you should be streaming on or making your video production with. I'll be showing you guys certain equipment upgrades you can be making. There's gonna be lots of things in this series that I'm gonna be showing you guys that personally I wish I would have known about when I was first starting out as well. It would have saved me a lot of time, would have saved me a lot of mistakes. So that's all gonna be stuff I'm gonna be adding to this series as we go. But for this first video, I just want to get into 7 rules to follow when you're just getting started. These are gonna be nice tips and tricks for you guys, especially if you're someone that is already established. It's a good reminder of things that you can do to make your content better. Let's get into it. All right, so the first rule that you should start off with is going to be know your reason. And what I mean by that is you need to know why you're getting into this. You need to know what people are going to want to get out of it. If you know why you're doing it, people are going to know why they should listen. It's as simple as that. That's kind of rule number 1. As long as you know your reason and you're able to sell that to people, you're going to be good to go. Rule number 1, simple one. Now get into rule number 2. You need to be able to find a niche. So rule number 2, find a niche. That's honestly what I'm trying to do right here. I am filling a void that the fantasy sports community has. That's what my goal of this is to find a niche and, build a community off of that. And so really what you should be trying to do is find something that hasn't been done before, or find something that hasn't been done correctly, or something that can be fulfilled a little bit better. If you're finding a niche, people are going to be able to find you a lot easier. It's going to be a lot better for engagement. You're doing a niche too. You kind of have a purpose as well because you're filling a void that people were hoping to get. So if you can find a niche or a certain segment inside a niche, you're going to be better off suited. That should be your second overall goal that you are trying to do. So rule number 3 is going to be building off of rule number 2. Find your niche. So rule number 3 is going to be nail your niche. Okay, it's as simple as that. So what I mean by nailing your niche is you really have to stick to that niche. And with that, you want to stick to kind of one platform, whether that's really depends on what content you're putting out there. If you're doing written content, stick to that written content. Wherever you're posting your content, stick to that. If you're making social media posts, you got to stick to kind of one site. Twitter, just stick to Twitter. If you're doing Instagram, stick to Instagram. If you're doing YouTube, stick to YouTube. You want to do that because you want to build your audience up through that program. If you're kind of putting yourself out on every social media platform, you're kind of just spreading yourself too thin, and it's not going to be worth your while. You want to put your eggs all in one basket, at least at the start, because you're going to nail your niche. And another reason behind that is that algorithm. Everything nowadays is just all about algorithm. The more you're putting out there for a certain criteria, whether let's just use, I do a lot of fantasy golf. Let's use fantasy golf as an example. When it's fantasy golf season, my engagement goes up so much more because I'm just posting about fantasy golf. Whereas when it's NBA, NFL, and golf, then it's all kind of mixed together. So as long as you can kind of nail your niche, you're going to be doing a lot better. And also, this is going to set up a nice community base floor for you. You're going to be able to build a community up through that platform specifically, and then you're going to be able to grow from there. People are going to be able to notice you on that platform. They're going to know you for something specifically on that platform. For example purposes, when I first started out, I ran a fantasy football Twitter community. Okay, it was Sid Start Polls. I was the Sid Start Polls guy. I was just posting people's requests and they were coming in and I'd post those and get those posted. That's how I started out. I created a lot of engagement doing that. So keep your content on the same platform, nail your niche. You're going to be good to go. You're going to start growing a lot more frequently. So rule number 4 is actually going to be kind of the golden rule, the number 1 priority rule. But I think you have to do rules 1, 2, and 3 first before you get into this. Rule number 4 is going to be networking. Okay, this is the number 1 way to grow nowadays, especially if you're an individual content creator. This is going to be the way you're going to grow. You can do this by kind of 2 ways. You can reach out to companies in which you might see a void that you could potentially fill for them, or you can reach out to other content creators that you like. Maybe ask them for tips and tricks, ask them where you could help out, maybe ease some of their time, and you could help them. You don't want to be wasting anyone's time though. So you want to have this all planned out and you want to be committed to it, because the worst thing you can do at all with your audience or with asking someone to network, you don't want to waste their time. So ask them, maybe how they were successful. That's a great way to do it. The fantasy community is really just built on this. It's all about helping other people out. It's about giving people information to succeed. So it's kind of just the groundwork of fantasy football community. So people are going to be able to help you out there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me as well. Another thing is when you post content out there, the person that you are networking with, it's most likely going to reach them. They're going to be much more likely to engage. If they're engaging, then their audience gets involved, and then you guys are building off of each other. So it's just a mutually beneficial thing when everyone is helping out each other there. So it's something that can benefit kind of everyone involved. It gets your name out there a little bit more, and it's just providing content for someone else as well. So after rule 5, we're going to do a complete 180, is that you just need to post content. Nothing is ever going to be the best content that you can put out there, and you need to just be okay with that. As long as you're putting out content that's going to be, going through those other rules I already mentioned, it's going to be good enough. People are going to enjoy it. People are going to appreciate it, and you're going to be able to learn from that anyways. And if you're just putting stuff out there, at least people are going to be more engaged. Going back to the algorithm, you just want to be posting content within that niche, and it's going to be good. It's going to start to pick up. As long as you're doing that, you'll be fine. You don't want to be someone that doesn't put out content frequently. And that's another thing you can do as well, is put out content consistently. If you're on a schedule, you're going to be setting yourself up for some success. And then number 7 is that I kind of touched on this a bunch, engagement. All right, so I'm about to get right into the last rule here, engagement. And you guys can help out my engagement by letting me know which video you would like to see next. I can cover whatever you want. I think I'm going to do microphone quality as the next video, but another video after that, let me know which one you guys want to see. If you guys have a question, I'm happy to answer it for you. I'm going to be trying to help you guys out as much as possible. All right, let's get back into the last rule here, engagement. Engagement is key, okay? In fantasy sports content, you need to be engaging your audience. You need to be engaging new audience members as well. So if we all had the tricks, we would be doing that as frequently as possible, but you'll figure it out as you go. And that's something that I'll be touching on in later videos, but just know your kind of key focus, once you already have all those other rules down, is focusing on engagement, because that's going to help the algorithm out. That's going to help you guys grow more within the communities that you are trying to establish yourself in. But that's all I have for you guys for this first video. Let me know which video you would like next. I think I'm just going to do kind of a simple video as well. Before we really dive into everything else, I'll probably touch on microphone quality, because that is kind of the first thing that people notice in your video is your audio. So I'll probably talk about how you can improve your audio from there, and then maybe talk about, podcast names or logos and whatnot. It's a fun thing. I can go anywhere with this. Let me know what you guys want to learn, and I'll be able to help you guys out. So leave that in the comment section below.